Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in just to enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here on the YouTube side, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand that sometimes I can't even get a word in myself, so be patient, because I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make comments or questions during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John's, contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe, and when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all so that whether it's myself or Sparky, you'll be notified. Comments and share the videos. All those activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member and I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account. I don't miss it, and I suspect you won't either. You can also use this super chat, which is over here below the chat box, the big $sign, which you can donate any amount you want. And that's not a subscription, it's just one and done. Hopefully you do it often. And your support helps offset just some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And if you join with our YouTube memberships, you actually become a member and you have access to unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel, not mine. I come in here just twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there. And place a comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his Junar XL. And I'll receive a notification and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link now at the Stunthangar Forum. And let me take care of this here. Okay. And here we go. Hope everybody had a good week. I'm posting the link as we speak. The link is now posted. So that's really the best way to get in here. And let me send this out here. I didn't go flying today. I can't believe it. It's because of the rain. I don't know what happened to it never rains in Southern California. I mean, it hasn't rained a lot, but it's really unfortunate when it does rain, because I was looking forward to flying today. I really was, and that did not happen. So let me go to what I call the control panel and see how the stream is flowing. What do you think about this background? This is Rusty Knowlton. He was the former host of the Stunthangar video hangouts, and unfortunately he passed away. This is like the second anniversary roughly, and I came across that, and there's a feature that I was able to put him in the background. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know in the chat box. If you're out there just watching, just give me put down you like it or don't like it, or what. I just would like some feedback. And Gary Sinclair is in the chat box. He says check in done. I think that means that the like is done. Thank you very much, Gary. And I hope you come in, Gary. I know last time you had a little bit of a problem getting in. And I don't know what the weather's like wherever you are watching this, but if you can't come in, please watch us and give us a like, and put your feedback in the chat box. That helps. So anyways, I don't have any flying to report on. So what I did was I did work on my plane yesterday in preparation for today. I'll just kind of talk about this until it looks like Gary Sinclair is making his way in here. And let me see how this is going to work. So that's my first time doing this with this. It's called an inversion. So we'll see. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Okay.
What do you think about this?
It's all right. I can't get that to work on mine.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, I don't have an app or something.
Yeah, I just thought I'd try it, and I'm sorry I forgot to mention about hey Jim, how you doing?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming in. I don't know if you recognize this gentleman, but this is Rusty Knowlton. And he used to host the show, and he unfortunately passed away.
Oh.
And I'm trying to find this month's calendar. Every month we have a calendar. Then, matter of fact, Gary Sinclair, he's the one who. Oh, this is with the inversion. This really works weird. It doesn't show up. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this because I can't show anything. Let me see.
Is he a friend of yours?
Yes, he is. He definitely. We never really got a chance to meet each other because he lived in Columbia, South Carolina, I believe.
Yes.
And so we never met, but we spoke on the phone, and we became, quite chummy. Yeah. And unfortunately, he started feeling bad, and he asked me to take over the show. So that's how I happened to become in this position. And of course, with Sparky's approval, he ultimately let me do this, and he had to give me the keys to the kingdom, because I actually can go in Sparky's YouTube channel. So this is how I'm able to do this. I stream this from Sparky's YouTube channel. Hey Mark, thanks for coming in. And Keith Trossel, thank you for coming in.
Charles,
how's everybody doing?
we're good.
Good. I'm gonna stop the and this view here. Great. All right, cool. Anyways, hey Mike, how you doing? Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So anyways, let me make myself big, and I'll show this is Al Fierro. Al Fierro's in our calendar this month. And if you'd like to be in the calendar, what you want to do is forward a picture of a plane, of you in a plane preferably, to Gary Sinclair. And and then you'll be in next year's calendar or the year after that. So, anybody do any flying?
I did. I flew on Sunday.
Oh, great. What did you fly?
I flew my Predator big electric.
All right.
So I did something interesting though. This contest in Las Vegas is coming up.
Yes.
And I don't know I know Keith was there. Were you there last year? Do you know the facility?
Yes.
The paved circle is not a full circle, and you fly over a grass area.
Yeah.
And so when you land, you've got to dodge that grass area. And last year, John Callentine, he landed well upstream of the grass area, but he rolled into it, and it damaged his airplane. He had wing-mounted gear and a D-tube type wing, and it did some pretty serious damage. So I took my plane and I took my landing gear, took the wheels off, I inserted an O-ring, it's a very small O-ring, 1/8 inch ID, right up against the wheel, and installed the collar essentially to squeeze it a little bit to add some friction to the wheel, to the tires. And so that was the mission this weekend. And I took 3 or 4 flights, and as long as I didn't land it hot, it stopped rolling in about a quarter lap on a pretty reasonably smooth paved surface. And normally a plane like that will roll half a lap. So that was a success.
And that is good. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that is a concern for me too. I didn't fly there last year. I was in attendance, but I didn't fly. And that one particular circle with the experts, when I saw that was more of a problem than where the other circle is, the other circle didn't seem to have that problem. There is that same fall off where it's grass too, but I think it's more dominant in the expert circle. So yeah, I probably gonna do something similar to that.
I just missed what he did. What did you actually do to the wheels? I just signed in and I heard you say something about you did something to the wheels, and why?
Well, I wanted to reduce the length of the landing rollout. So I wanted to introduce some friction into the wheel. And so I took off a wheel collar and installed a little O-ring, 1/8 inch ID O-ring, and then put the wheel collar on such that it squeezes the O-ring a little bit. So that there's a little bit of friction in the wheels. That's what I did.
You did it to both, I assume?
I did it to both wheels, yes.
I think I'll try peanut butter and see how that works.
I'm going to use epoxy on yours.
You know what might work even better than that? Some wavy washers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There are some washers that looks like they start
Yeah.
to wave.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that would do it.
Put
Some
a
people
flat
use
washer,
fuel
flat
tubing.
washer, the wave in between.
Yeah, I've seen fuel tubing also. That's a good idea as well.
Yeah, I didn't invent this. Friend of mine in California invented it that I know of.
Very, very cool.
I thought Billy Werrich invented it.
Perhaps. Then Kirk Mullenix stole it from Bill then.
Keith may know the history. I don't.
No.
What, the O-ring?
Yeah, I remember reading something years ago about Bill had put O-rings in his wheels when it was really windy so he could get the plane to stop quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. I remember watching the Nats a couple of years ago, and that might have been what the case might have been there, because it was really windy a couple of years ago. And those planes did not roll out very long after they landed.
Yeah, I had something similar happening. I'm landing and then the wind just picked it up and I just took off again and just looked ugly.
Yeah. Let me welcome you, Tryon. Thanks for coming in, and Stuart, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here just for a few minutes, just basically
my-
saying hi.
I appreciate you coming in. I know you have to be at work early in the wee hours of the morning.
If
So-
I disappear, I disappear.
All right, that's fair. I appreciate that.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
We talked about these before. They're
Yes.
a fuel filter.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that's selling these?
I purchased mine from Control Line Parts. Of course, that's the Ukraine. That's might be
Yeah.
2 weeks before you get it.
I've been trying on my phone. I emailed. I didn't get any answers back because I
Huh.
wanted to ask them how many they had in stock and price and getting them here to Canada. So, I mean, that was 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't heard anything back from them.
Huh. Yeah, well, these are different times because when I used to order from them, they were pretty punctual as far as, responding and let me know. I always had questions about different things. Yes, I don't know where else. I mean, it's a Turnigy product, right? It doesn't say Turnigy on it.
Yeah, I can't think of it. There's a helicopter place that sells them too, but they ran out. So
If it's Turnigy, you might find it at the Hobby King.
yeah, I tried them too. I've been trying them for a long time, and they've been out of stock for months. So I'm thinking that the company, these are all made by the same company, I'm sure. So I think what's happened is the company that's making them, probably in China, there's problems. So I would assume they're in China, they make them, but yeah, okay. I just wondered if anybody else knew anybody else that had them.
Now, what do you like about that filter?
Why? Well, they're light. Have you seen them up close? You've seen
Yeah,
them.
I have about
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them.
And I don't know, this is the little filter inside, and it's really fine.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
You want to show it again? Maybe make it big. I didn't get a chance to. There we go. Yeah, it is fine. The reason why I asked you that is because
screen, it's finer, I think, than a lot of the basic filters you buy.
right.
And so I don't know. I haven't had any problems with them. I broke one of the nipples off here, the plastic ones.
Oh,
But that's because the way I pulled it too hard. But other than that, since I've been using them for the last about 3 years, I've had no problem with them.
you know who else makes a nice little filter is Dub Jet, and it's serviceable. You can take it apart and clean the filter.
It is okay. Doug Jet's the name of the company.
Yeah, or it's Rojet. It's the Rojet company basically, and they have all kind of accessories, and one of them is a really nice fuel filter.
I'll look it up on the net.
Yeah, and they also have a really nice syringe, a huge, like 10, 12 ounce syringe,
Okay.
which is pretty neat also.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Keith, did you do any flying or not?
Yeah, went out, I guess, Friday and Saturday, I think, yeah. Yesterday is best weather we've had here for a year, I think,
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
except no clouds. The only thing could have been better, have a nice overcast to shade the sun.
Yes.
It was in the 70s and light breeze, and it's good.
So have you fixed your problem with your big job?
It seems to be running pretty good. I'm just waiting to get thing to a lower altitude now so I can fly a decent pattern. The other guys out there do a real nice. Mark is flying a new airplane, and he's doing a good job. A new airplane, new engine, and everything was working good.
You're gonna bring that plane to Las Vegas, Mark?
I don't know. I'm not sure I can get that airplane in my P40 in my car,
Oh, okay.
but I'll work something out.
So this flying your new plane, what plane is that again? The new one?
The SV11 that I had, I think
Okay.
I shot it a couple of weeks ago.
But the real secret he's got there, he's got a Tom Lace Super Tiger 60 on it, and it just runs like a charm.
Very, very nice.
Keith, how high are you over there? What's the
We're-
altitude?
Well, we fly west of Denver, and it's right at 6,000 feet.
6,000 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit high up there.
And then when the temperature gets up in the 90s, it's like 7,000.
Wow.
Wow. Hey, John Miller's in the house. Hey, John, thanks for coming in.
You bet. Glad to be here.
I went out flying 2 times last week.
Oh, very good.
One time I just went just to do some, try some new setups, new handle positions and stuff like that. Try to establish some kind of a routine for myself. Just for example, like what do I like? I like hand like that. I like this. I like it somewhere in between. You know, stuff like that. Just establish something like, okay, I like this, and I'm gonna fly like this from now on, kind of thing. Try to just get my rhythm, you know, in squares and stuff like that. Better. Just get some rhythm, right? And after that, you know, it was all going fine. And problem was that the wind was flying right into the sun, and it was sunset time, so the sun was really in my eyes. I'm just really putting maneuvers around the sun. It's funny. And I smashed it in a little bit on the bottom of the inside square.
Oh, no.
I came in, I came like that. I was so close to the ground. You know, I just touched the ground, and the grass was about this thick, you know, around. Just I could barely get out of the grass to take off. So as soon as the wheels just touched the grass kind of went like.
Oh, man.
It sucked it in, right? And actually, the only thing that happened, you just like, you know, the nose went in, the prop broke off, and the nose with the nose ring, the motor with the nose ring and a cone just popped straight out forward, you know, and that was it. No other damage at all.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it was minimal.
So I glued it back in, and then I just went out flying yesterday again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Great.
I put one flight and I stopped immediately because I had some other issues that I didn't see originally. So right now I'm fixing them. And but it's nothing big, you know, just everything is
Oh, good.
fixable. Everything is, it's cool, you know, it's nothing major.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
But at full speed, that that crashes flat, you know, it's just like you know, the grass, just as soon as the wheels touch the grass, it just like sucked it in and just like pulled it down. I
Wow.
was like, yeah, it just sucked it in, slowed it down. The nose came in, and the prop came loose, and the motor just kind of like that and pulled out. And if you look at the plane right now, on the nose where it's painted, it has like a quarter of an inch minuscule crack right there on the top.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a low pullout. 4 to 6 feet, anywhere between 4 and 6 feet.
No, that was in between 4 and 6 inches, probably.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. Are you waving goodbye, Jim? Okay. Your mic is muted. If you want it muted, that's fine, but just so you know, it's muted.
I was waving hello to Dennis.
All right. Hey, Dennis Adamison, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. So I have a comment to Stuart. This is from Joe Mata, my flying partner. He says, looks like Amen Hobbies carries that fuel filter, but back ordered. So, and then Dennis Adamson said, like delivered, be there in a bit. Thank you, Dennis. And then Will Davis says, nice pic of our friend Rusty taken at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Yes, that's one of the pictures that Rusty shared with me, I believe. And I have another one too, but this one is, I like this one the most. I don't know if you guys might have missed it, but I opened the show with Rusty's picture in the background, and I was shrunk down to the right, at least on my screen. It's like an immersion version of the Zoom channel. So I use that. First time I ever tried it.
Yep, I still miss him.
Yep. Looks like Mark Wise is making his way in here. So Dennis, have you done any flying since last time we spoke?
Not a bit. Been a crazy weekend. It rained today and it's supposed to rain tomorrow too. So got a chance of maybe flying Wednesday. I hope. Got a contest this weekend in Cleveland, and I haven't flown in going on a month now. So
wow, that's no fun.
I guess I don't want to take a chance on being over practiced, I guess, but
no, not at all.
I flew, Charles.
You flew? I was thinking, I bet you Mike's flying.
Yeah, I did. We drove up to Detroit for a combat contest.
Right.
Yeah, we drove in Thursday night and practiced Friday. We flew half A, speed limit, and Nelson slow on Saturday. And then we flew F2D yesterday. And we did not stick around for Big Block Fast because we had to get back on the road and get home because it's about a 8.5 hour drive. So unfortunately, Sam got skunked in all 4 of the events he flew. He flew well. He just couldn't get any cuts. He couldn't get any cuts, but he was flying well, but he just got beat by adults too. He wasn't flying other kids, but he flew really good. And then I only flew half A and speed limit, and I won half A, and I took second in speed limit.
Congratulations, that's great.
Yeah,
awesome.
Good weekend. Good weekend.
Absolutely, that's
sounds
great.
Like the man now.
And I got the mower on the trailer. I'm headed to the field tomorrow to mow our part of the circle, and I'm charging up batteries for the Axioma. I'm going to fly the Axioma tomorrow. Because if we can get away on Sunday, we're going to probably just make a day trip over to Canton and go to the Canton contest. So try and go ahead and put that spool of line and those basswood boards that I shipped you all. That's, I don't know what all you got that you need to get back to me. Go ahead and bring it.
Spool of lines and
I'm about 80% sure we'll be able to make Sunday only. So
I'll be happy to see you Sunday, man.
Okay. All right.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Mark Wise, thanks for making it in here. I appreciate it.
Hey, guys.
So how did it go with the meeting you had last week? And I know you had talked about, or you asked us for some feedback. Did you get a chance to pose that question or about different areas to host the event?
No, that's Thursday. That'll probably be my lynching.
Well, the good news, Mark, is that there's not a lineup of people waiting to take your place, so they won't lynch you.
I think it's Prince Philip after me. But actually, I did bounce this off a couple of well-known.
Oh no!
Who said it's been decades since they've had the opportunity to, have a short ride to the Nats, but that I would get a lot of resistance. And so we'll see. It's Thursday night, and maybe the last time you guys see me, but I appreciate if you'd come to my service and say something nice about me.
Jim, did you hear what we talked about last Friday? We had a little conversation about the possibility of having the Nats held maybe like in 3 different locations, maybe a rotation, and so that more people can actually go to the Nats. Like I went to the Nats and it was like one of my bucket list type of things in my life. Don't know if I'm gonna make it back to the Nats, but if it was closer to you and me, you're in Arizona, I'm in California. If those are Nats closer, it'd be easier for us to go, right? What do you think about that, Jim? About having different locations, maybe a rotation, and then get back to Muncie every 3 or 4 years?
Well, I would favor a rotation for just the reasons you spoke of. It's some tough logistics you have to overcome, but in general, I would favor a rotation.
Good. And Carl is just getting ready to join us. And Carl's in a similar boat. He lives here in El Cajon, or Santee, California. And the Nats is almost an impossibility to go to, but it'd be nice to go to a Nats. And then Mike, you was like, you thought it was a bad idea. You couldn't really voice it. You just texted.
Yeah, I just typed in the comments there. I mean, I'll just give my 2 cents. I think splitting up stunt from all the other control line events, we have them all in 1 week at one place. I think pulling stunt away from that is a bad idea. And also, I think if you give up the Muncie site, you say you're going to come back every 3rd year. What if something happens with these other sites and you get the boot, and then AMA has already taken those weeks and you have a hard time getting back into Muncie? That's all. But my general, and I'm not saying this because I live 5 hours away and I'm close. I'm just saying taking stunt away when you have racing, speed, scale, combat, all those events going on during the same week, and then pulling stunt away from it. I personally don't like that idea. And that's my 2 cents. I understand the, trying to get moving around to other places so other people could attend, but is that really going to happen? Are you going to have more participation if you move it away, or are less people going to participate? Is it going to be a net gain by moving the event to the West Coast or to South Carolina or something like that?
Over a 3-year span, you might have maybe the same total participation over.
Okay. Well, I guess there's no way to know until you do it. I mean, I get that.
I think
if I had a vote in the matter, my vote would be no.
I think another way to look at it, the Nats are the Nats as far as I'm concerned, and I go along with you about their scale and combat and carriers, the racing speed and all that.
Forgot about carrier, yeah.
And not that everybody is going to come participate in the stunt, but that's what the Nats are. Another alternative would be to have, let's call it a Pampa Open, and have that rotate around locations every 3 or 4 years. That'd be another thing, and if it's properly organized and managed, it could become almost as prestigious. Maybe not like the Nats, but would have the same prestige as what the VSC has taken. So, and it's interesting too because VSC has had more entries in the past than what there are at the Nats, and that's one location there. It was started out in Southern California and ended up in Tucson, and that's about as remote as you can get. And there's still good participation because of what it is. So something to think about.
Yeah, Mike, I understand your point. I would never, ever put us in any jeopardy with the AMA. This came about as a discussion between myself and Chad Boudreaux. And I was speaking to Tampa, and he said it's already been done, that RC pattern comes every 2, I think they alternate every other year. They go east, they go Muncie, they go west, they go Muncie. And he said, it's absolutely your privilege and your right. And we wouldn't look down on you for doing that, because one reason is you keep drawing the same people. I personally just don't think it's fair to a lot of people in this country who can't afford the time or the money to drive 2/3 of the way across the country. But then again, I'm just one vote.
And I understand, Mark, I've been listening to the conversations the few times you've talked about it. I get it 100%. And like you said, you're one vote and you asked for people's opinion. That's my opinion. You're probably going to get 100 different opinions on this, when you start talking to people. But whatever it is, it is what it is. If you guys move it around, then people can make the choice to go or to not go. Simple as that.
No. look, your point is a good point. And we're not going to make any decision unless we have a pretty good idea of what's involved. You know, moving the event from Muncie is going to be more work for Pampa. It should, you know, because we have an established venue in Muncie. I look at the map of the U.S. and I see where Muncie is, and you know the original intent was to have these regional sites just for this region, but AMA was not able to do that. I know they tried, but they were not able to do that. So again, I'm going to propose that the guys think about just skipping a year. Have it Muncie, go east. Have it Muncie, go west. Have it Muncie, go east. And I'm going to, if that is the case, then I'm going to ask Chad for a letter in writing that says this is absolutely with the blessing of the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Yeah, because you're right. I wouldn't want to jeopardize it. I just think my hope would be that you'd get people who would finally fly to Nats, who've never had the opportunity, and the ones who are good are going to keep coming back, just like the ones now. The ones from Canada, for God's sakes, and the drives that some of these people have, and they've had those drives since what, 1996? So
are you going to ask the Pampa district leaders to feel out the people in their district for, you know, kind of put feelers out and leaders out and talk to the people in their district and then have them report back to you? Or are you going to just reach out to all Pampa members with some kind of survey or something?
Well, I think the problem with dealing only with Pampa members is that our event is open to anybody. So I think it's better to present it to the Pampa Council, which is the district directors and about 3 others, and just get a conversation going and see where it goes. It's just, I think it's worth looking at seriously. I think our relationship with the AMA is solid. I honestly believe they'll do everything they can to make sure that the kind of things that happened this year, you know, won't recur. They're updating the manual. They're absolutely not our enemy. This is just, I think, in the best interest of the national organization. But then again, that's just my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Okay.
Charles, thanks for bringing it up. I was going to try to be quiet.
Well, I was interested in getting other people's opinions. Mike wasn't able to say anything last time, and Jim wasn't here. And I think everybody was here last Friday, right? Everybody else was here? Was you here, Mark, last Friday?
No, I didn't make it Friday.
And I wasn't here Friday.
Yeah, so if you had a chance to have the Nats closer to you, would that be something that would you be for? You can go ahead and go at first, Mark.
I guess I want to think about it some more. I kind of like Kate's idea of having a Pampa Open. It can rotate around the country. But I remember when I lived in Boston and they had the Nats at the Westover Air Force Base out there. That was about a 2-hour drive from my house. I was able to go out a couple of years and see it. But it was really neat that they had all of the different events. And my wife really liked the scale competition because she could count 10 laps. And a lot of guys couldn't make 10 laps.
No, it's, you know, it's a good point. You know, if it could be done, I would love to have all a control line together. I think the biggest problem with that would be the speed gauge and where do you find one of those? But apparently they're around. I've heard people say there are those that are around.
Yeah, we have one in Wheaton Arrows.
I guess I question whether we can find sites.
There's a speed gauge an hour away from me, Mark.
Okay.
In Bowling Green, Kentucky, of all places.
Well, that's fine.
There's a very large RC club there. And back around, this would have been 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. One of the gentlemen up there in the RC club was an old speed flyer. And he wanted to host a world championships speed event there. or World Cup. World Cup. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
And the FAI told him what he had to have. And it was an 80-foot paved circle, completely paved all the way around with a pylon in the middle and a speed cage all the way around it. This guy paid $80,000 of his own money to put in this speed circle, and it was used 2 years in a row.
Mhm.
And then it's been abandoned. He was an older gentleman. He was in his 80s. I don't remember what his name was. If I could find out his name, I'm sure everybody in the speed world would know exactly who he is. But he was an old man. He was on his way out, so to speak, and he was like, I'm going to spend my money and put this circle in here so that we can host a World Cup here. Because we went up and watched it. Samuel and I went up and watched. And they had flyers from the UK, Japan, Russia, Ukraine, Germany, Great Britain. I mean, there was all kinds of foreigners there for this World Cup thing, you know, flying all the F2A, you know, super zippy, crazy 15 size stuff and the half A proto and all that. And we were able to get in good with one of the RC guys there and get keys to the gate. And for a few years, we went up there and flew control line when we had no site here in Nashville to fly. We were driving up to Bowling Green and flying off their site. But over time, the cage just got rotted and withered, you know, it's fabric cage or mesh or whatever it is, netting. And, you know, the poles started getting knocked down and the windsock got tattered because there was nobody there to take care of it anymore. But there is one speed cage, 60 miles away. I'm sure it's got weeds and cracks growing through it now, you know. That's your issue. Where are you going to find a speed cage?
Yeah. I have to interrupt because Dennis Adamisson's had his hand up for a long time. Thank you for your patience. And thank you, Jim, for letting me know.
Patience, hell, I'm going to kill something. Question for Mark, and actually maybe for Chad Boudreau, would be if the RC pattern folks have been doing this and going alternate site and everything like that, they may have some feedback on how well it's working for them as far as the number of people are drawing, the kind of people are drawing, stuff like that. Any way we can get a hold of the RC pattern people, or maybe Chad knows the answer. You know, maybe he has the answer nearby or something like that.
I would imagine he does, Dennis, because we'd have to keep the same data. It still goes through Muncie. It still goes through AMA headquarters. It's just an AMA event being held in a different location, like indoor right now is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Chad would know numbers. Whoever the head of the pattern organization would know. Yeah, we got about the same numbers, but you know, 50% of those are people we never saw before, or we only get to see them every third year or something like that. I guess that's the kind of information that you might be able to get.
I think that's a great point also. And
we're making the assumption, I think a logical assumption, that we're going to be able to attract different people that are closer to wherever the site is. And I think that's a good assumption, but it would still be interesting to see if that really pans out for the people who are doing it. So
yeah, I agree. One of my thoughts is if you want to recruit to Pampa and you want to not let Pampa die because of the age of the members, then you're going to have to get people to see, you know, what the Nats might look like, that, you know, that kind of competition, and possibly making official events at Event 30 and Classic, where people have a chance to come to the Nats and not fly against some of the top flyers in the country. Give them a chance in their own class. So, you know, so we'll look at it. Chad has been cooperative on data. You know, it's the kind of thing that maybe, you know, maybe this takes a year or two to develop. I don't know. I do know that the little bit of fly in the ointment here is, I thought it'd be that and I'm not the only one, we should do something special next year because it's our 50th anniversary. And I know Keith is on the line, and I believe that in 73, Pampa was formed at Oshkosh. Keith, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't there, but we've had people on here that have been there, and then we ran Pampa ran their first Nats then in 74, and after that, we started it in 74.
Okay, because we have found out that the likelihood of, if we wanted to have an anniversary special at Oshkosh, that's about 95% done. We could go to an event in Oshkosh if we wanted to. Regarding the East Coast, I know Triple Tree would welcome us with open arms if that was like a Southeast location. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I think the more feedback, the better. It'll be good for all of us at Pampa to, get as much feedback as we possibly can. And I guess the worst thing that could happen is we make a move and find out it doesn't do what we want to do. And then you go back where it is. I'd sure like to get more people to see a Nats and get excited about it. So, guys, thanks again. I know there are more exciting things to talk about tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I want to welcome Lynn Burrell. Thanks for coming in, Lynn.
Hey,
And
guys.
Joe
Hey, Lynn.
Gilbert.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for coming
Good
in,
to
Joe
see you.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
And then I have some comments in the chat box I need to catch up with. Mel Rogers, he says, congrats, Mike. Greetings, guys. And you haven't been here in a while, Mel. Hopefully you might make a way in here. That'd be great. And old control line pilot. All of us who knew Rusty will always miss him. For those who don't know, I had a picture of Rusty in the background when I opened the show. It just took up the whole screen. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah, it looked good. Looked real good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, Lenny.
I
You got more,
few
Charles?
comments. A few more. Then I have Todd Stimson. He says, I like the Nats at Muncie. It might be a one-time bucket list thing for me, but that makes it being in Muncie more special. I like Keith's idea of a Pampa Cup. And then he goes on to say that I'm in California. So he's like me in California. And I'm done with the, and thank you for coming in, Philip.
Oh, glad to be here.
Lenny,
Yes, sir.
I gave it a run in Detroit, man, and I got bested by a Canadian in the final in speed limit. Pat McKenzie. Pat
Good
McKenzie
job.
took first, and I took second in speed
Good
limit.
stuff. I'm glad you did well. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I won half ace, so that was
That's
pretty
all
good.
right. Good.
Yeah, but it was
So you
nice
had
to see the Canadians there.
So it was a good weekend?
It was, yeah. Pat and Ivan were there, and what was the Ukrainian guy's name? Vadim.
Vadim, yeah, Vadim. I heard he won F2D.
Did he win it? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
apparently he did.
We left right after Sam was eliminated from F2D because we had to get back on the road yesterday to come home.
Okay.
I don't know who won F2, and I don't know.
Apparently Vadim won F2D. I believe Pat was second and Ivan was third.
Okay. Do you know who won fast? Who won big block?
Don't know. Can't remember.
Okay. All right.
Can't remember. Sorry.
But it was a good meet. We had good weather. We had great
That's
weather.
awesome.
It was perfect control line weather.
Good
Gorgeous.
stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Len.
Yes.
I got a question for you.
All right.
I've never heard of anyone going out to eat to a Canadian restaurant. Do you guys have your own special food?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I would say no.
Okay.
Okay.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
don't.
really?
We don't make a real
It ain't
big deal
grow
out
pigs
of
in
that.
Canada.
Nah.
Oh, wait a minute. You guys have pasties, don't you? So
Bull Moose and Rocky.
Well, the only thing that would be real Canadian food would be poutine.
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 Poutine, yeah.
Bull Moose and Rocky.
Oh.
Old moose and rock.
Oh.
One thing you got is very nice people, so that's a good thing.
Well, thank you.
I know of one good restaurant in Canada. I can't speak for any more, but if you go right across at the falls and go across over to that needle over there, the restaurant in there is excellent. Space Needle looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of what you call it, but anyway.
Yeah, the Skyline Tower.
That's it.
At least that's what they called it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
They have an excellent steak in there. It's one of the best steaks I've ever eaten in my life.
Wow.
That's
So
good.
I have a question for Lynn and Phil and Joe. Do you guys do any flying this week, or since we?
I
little bit.
did.
You did. What'd you fly?
Okay. They had a RC Warbird event at the Glue Daubers RC field. And
All right.
Tim
All right.
Tipton's been cutting a grass circle over there. And they got approved to do that. So Tim and I flew during that event, paid my $20 entry fee like everybody else and flew. And there was a dozen people come over and watch people fly. And we
Wow.
may get a couple come and fly with us out of this deal, maybe even. We'll see.
Wow.
Good
Yeah, I
stuff.
bet.
That'd be neat.
That is
That's
great.
awesome.
It was
That
okay.
is awesome. Now, what did you fly by chance?
Blue Max. The Blue
Okay.
Max one day and the Mustang Profile the other day.
Cool.
You got
Yeah, I'm sorry.
you got Big Blue fixed already?
Yeah, but I flew a Blue Max, a Casminato airplane.
Oh, Blue Max. Okay.
Yeah, Blue Max.
Looks like an impact.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yes, yes.
So how about you, Phil? Did you do any flying?
Yeah, I went and flew the Max B and with that 76, and it about pulled my arm off again, but it's flying well, flying very well.
Good stuff.
I'm not going to be able to fly it anymore for a while though. I'm out of fuel. I've got to go make some fuel. That's ridiculous. I refuse to pay $18 or $19 a gallon for alcohol and nitromethane when I know I can make it for $6. I've just got to go find the containers to go buy 5 gallons of alcohol.
You're not making it for, if you're making it for $6, I want to know where you're getting your stuff, because I can't make it for less than $13 a gallon right now.
The
Nitro's
local
50 a gallon here. in
That's
Tulsa.
65 here, but yeah. No, all it says is alcohol and oil. And just
Oil's $9 a quart.
Yeah, the alcohol's $9 a quart, but the quart goes a good ways when you're just mixing 18% oil
Right.
in alcohol. I mean, that's the only two components. So,
Joe, where are you getting nitro for 50 a gallon? I'd like to know.
The speed shop right here in town.
Right there in town. Okay, well that's good to know. I might have to have you bring me one the next time I see you, because to get it here shipped, I'm paying $99 a gallon right now. And my speed shop does not sell nitromethane by the gallon. They sell methanol. I'm paying $6 a gallon for methanol. My clots I get online, but the nitro from Torco is costing me $99 shipped.
This guy, you can take your own alcohol jug and get 5 gallons for, I don't know what it was. It's $5 or $6 a gallon. It's not terrible. But
Yeah.
you just take your own gallon jug, or he'll get you a little gallon jug. And it's
I
heavy too, though. Nitro's really heavy.
might impose on you to do that if we're going to see each other sometime next year.
And who knows what it'll be next time, but I'll go check.
Yeah.
Mike, if you would text me or something or other your phone number. I'm going I'm going by the fuel place on Friday on the way to Atlanta. Well, wait a minute. They won't be open yet. Never mind. I was going to say it would be no problem to stop and pick you up some, but they won't be open yet when I go through. I was going to go down Thursday night. Now I got to go down Friday morning. So I've got to leave out of here, dark 30 and try to get there before noon.
Even 65 is a break from the 100 I'm paying, because I'm making like 40% nitro for my Nelsons and stuff. So, that's almost a half a jug to make 1 gallon of fuel right off the bat. And so that stinks. If I'm making 5% FAI stuff or even 10% stunt fuel, it goes a little further, but you make 2 gallons of 40% and you're about out of nitro,
Yeah. Wow. Well, if they're open when I go by, I may end up skipping the meeting Thursday night and going, oh, I see what it is. Now I was about to ask you what the heck it was over your right shoulder, but I see what it is now. But anyway, if I go by there, I'll pick up a gallon. It's not that bad.
Well, I would appreciate that if you can get it done.
Well, if they're open, I'll stop and get it, because I'm gonna stop and get myself some stuff too. I need some fuel for this weekend. I hate paying $20 a gallon when I can make it for about 7, 8, but that's the way it goes.
I think the fuel in the RC store in the hobby shop now, they're getting $30 a gallon for
Yeah.
Morgan and Omega.
Yeah.
30 a gallon. Randy Rich was at the Nats, and he was selling his stunt fuel for 25 a gallon at the Nats.
That's a deal.
All his fuel, basically 25 a gallon. So I picked up a bunch while I was there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, out here in California, where I go, the shop uses fuel as a loss leader, so he sells it like for $19, 15% a
That's a
gallon.
good
Wow.
And,
That's a good
and
deal.
Carl can vouch for me. Carl, I know your mic does not work very well, but Carl has also purchased the fuel out here at a place called Discount Hobbies, and the guy just orders cases of fuel or pallets of fuel, and he just sells it. It's a loss leader, brings in customers, and brings me in.
Well, Charles, you buy a whole pallet at 19 a gallon. You drive to Muncie and sell it for 26. You're still cheaper than what everybody's paying, and you pay your way to the Nats next year.
Wow, that's an interesting idea. And Lynn, I didn't get a chance to ask you, did you do any flying at the
I
bean
did.
field?
I flew quite a bit this week with the Bear. I got the new pipe in it and it runs absolutely outstanding.
The pipe was the problem.
The pipe was the problem. I put
figured
a
it's
brand new Randy pipe in it with it cut to the proper length, and it ran beautiful right off the bat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
That
running.
one's got a hole stopped up.
I'm running a Bally 13 4.5 cut to 12 inches, and it just loves it.
Yeah.
It's running
It
nice.
probably
It's
flies like
got
a dream too.
Got lots of thrust. I'm running about 5.3, 5.4 seconds a lap. Yeah, it's
Wow.
a fun airplane to fly.
How long are you lying?
That is cool.
63, 64 feet, somewhere around there.
That ought to
And
be great.
I'm still using the Spectra, and I like it. It's been good.
Yeah. Which Spectra are you using? 100-pound?
100-pound, standard 100-pound. I'm not using Max Quattro or anything lighter. I'm just using regular 100-pound test still. I will try the Max Quattro if I can get some.
And we'll pull test it before you use it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, since we're on the subject of that, Dennis and I have been messaging each other today. I saw on Stunthangar somebody had a post where Al Ferraro did a test Friday and it broke. So I watched that and I thought, you know what, I'm going to test what I have here in the shop. And the latest spool I got is this stuff here. It's 65 pound. Charles, you want to make me big because I'm going to show some other spools.
You are big.
Okay. So I tested this, and here it is right here. I can't break this, okay? This is 65 pound, and I can't break it between two screwdrivers.
Wow.
So it got me thinking about, early on, we knew that there was counterfeit Chinese Power Pro getting into the country, and they're selling it. And I thought, you know what? I wonder maybe if that's the issue that people are having. I know a lot of people have done pull tests and brake tests, 2 lines. It was, all on Stunthangar. And those of us here, we have all done it. And Al demonstrated it in the video. So I got my latest spool, my second latest spool. So I bought this white because that's all that was available. And I'll tell you this, I have been buying all my Power Pro from Tackle Direct on eBay for like 12 years. That is the company that I use, Tackle Direct. They did not, this is the last spool I got of that from Tackle Direct. The next spool I got is this spool. It's just 65 pound high vis yellow, right? This is not from Tackle Direct. This is one of the other fishing sources. But what I want to show you is the labels. Okay? This is the label of Max Quattro that I have been using since Max Quattro came out. The label has always looked just like this. There's some 65. There's some 100 pound. Here's some 50 pound.
All same label.
Here's even some 40 pound. Okay? So the label always looks just like this. Well, I got this stuff out today. I did a pull test on it. And guess what? It broke about 12 pounds in my hand between 2 screwdrivers. Now, this is supposed to be 65-pound Max Quattro. Look at the difference in the labels. This is the very first spool of Max Quattro I have ever had that has this fishy looking label on it. It's completely different from every other label I've ever had. The other thing is, when you look at them side by side and you feel them, the white, what I'll call the real stuff that didn't break, it feels waxier, right? When you run it through your hand, it just feels waxier and it's bumpier. Like you can feel the braid almost when you run your fingers down it. This stuff is not as slippery and it's a lot smoother. It's like you can't feel the braid in it. These are definitely not the same material made the same way. I'm betting $100 this is some fake Chinese stuff being pawned off. Because I mean, I could rig up a loop and show you, but it's going to do exactly what Al's did. It breaks with no problem whatsoever. And I just showed you the white one. I could not break it. So I've got a claim in with the guy that sold this to me. We're going back and forth. And he says, we buy all our stuff directly from Shimano, who owns Power Pro. So I guess basically I want my money back on this because this was $105 for 500 yards. I'm going to go back and forth with him. If not, I'll open a dispute with eBay on it. And then my next step, like Dennis said I should probably just contact Power Pro because there is a lot number and a serial number on here. And they'll be able to tell me if this is one of theirs, right? Because I mean, this has a lot number and a serial number as well with a barcode. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this one way or another. I am going to contact Power Pro and be like, is this your stuff? Did you change your manufacturing technique? Because it sure doesn't feel, it just feels suspect to me. I've been using this stuff a long time, and this ain't the stuff I've been using. It's just not.
Okay.
So if you got a label like that, I would steer clear of it, or at least test it yourself.
Yeah.
To, do the screwdriver pull test, because this is 65. There is no way I should be able to break this between
16 pounds. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I got some 10-pound over here that I use for half A, and I was able to break it. But let me tell you, even the 10, I had to really, really crank on it to get it to break. So I think this is suspect, and I wouldn't use it if you got it with that label. That's just my 2 cents, guys. Don't trust your airplane to this unless you do a pull test on it yourself and you think it's okay. And I wonder if, the other people on Stunthangar that were commenting that said they bought this stuff and they pulled it and it broke it this and broke it that, if they maybe had this blue labeled stuff too.
Wow, Mike, that's heavy. Thank you very much.
I think mine's got the blue label, so that's what it is. Makes sense.
That's scary.
Good work, Mike.
Again, like I said, I've been buying this for 12 years. It always had this label on the package. Even the white stuff I bought at the beginning of the summer had this label. This yellow I just got a few weeks ago. It's a different label. And I guess I didn't really notice it.
Well, you wouldn't be thinking about it.
I wouldn't be thinking about it until I read the posts on the forum and Al showing that one broke. And I don't know what Al had. I don't know what his label was, if it was this or that. But it just made me think, I wonder if we got some bad stuff. So beware, be cautious. That's all I'm going to say. I'm 100% sold on Max Quattro. I've been, like I said, I got no issues with it, but I think something fishy's going on with some of the stuff that's available on eBay and stuff like that, and Amazon.
And I'm wondering if the standard Power Pro could be the same thing now. So I'm going to have to be careful too.
Just I think you're safe because this was 65. So if you get some 65 and you can't break it between your hands.
Yeah, exactly. And I tested, I pull it. Yeah,
but if it snaps right away, then you got some faulty stuff.
Some crappy stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Jim Hoffman, was your label the gray or the blue label? Do you remember?
Say again?
Did you have the label that Mike is saying is authentic?
While Mike was talking, I've been searching, and I don't have a photo of the label. I sent it back.
Okay.
But I think that the label that I had that failed is similar to the one that Mike describes as bogus.
Okay.
I sent it back to the manufacturer, and they are sending me new material actually that was supposed to ship today.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they send you back. And if that is like a new authentic Power Pro label, then I'm going to say I've lost faith in it.
What do you got there, John? No,
This
that's
is
a
green.
This
green.
is the Power Pro that I got.
Yeah, that's the original. That's the original. And you're probably safe with that. That's not the Max Quattro, but it's original. But John, if you can't break it between tie 2 loops and, you know, do the overhand surgeon's knot, modified surgeon's knot, do about a 10-inch piece. If you can't pull it apart in your hands, it's probably okay.
Okay.
And what do you got there, Dennis? Hang on.
Unfortunately, I think
Yeah.
I have the same labels as Mike, and this to me is good line. This is what I'm flying right now. And I've got both labels that Mike described. So I'm a little bit in a quandary on that.
Well, take a piece on the blue label in your left hand, tie up a couple of loops, and see if you can break it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I will, because this is the stuff I'm flying right now, and I made lines and pull tests them. So
Well, that's pretty selfish, Dennis.
well, yeah. So hey, remember guys, remember the old Charles Atlas ads in the comic books?
Yep.
I'm the before picture. All right. I'm the before. All right. So this stuff might beat me anyway. So.
Oh Lord.
Well, the
You're the
stuff
guy
I was
getting the
messing with,
sand
I
kicked
made
in
up
the
full
face.
sets of lines, and they failed at 50% beneath their rated strength pretty consistently.
Yeah. Mark Lumen had exactly the same situation with the line he had bought about the same time as you bought. I think he also had I don't know what color he had. I wish he was here. I don't think he ever sent his back or anything like that. So, and then I did also just get a brand new roll here that I haven't even touched or anything. And it looks like it's the light blue label also.
Oh, no.
Mike.
Yeah.
Didn't you also say that you noticed a distinct difference in the texture of the line, just feeling it?
It sure feels that way to me.
I mean, and see, that's what I did notice on mine, and on all the stuff I got here, the texture seems right. Or, you know, it all seems consistent.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel the same to me. And just looking at it, I can see the braid in what I consider the real stuff. It's coarser, and the braid in what I think is fake stuff is thinner. And when I run it between my fingernails, the fake stuff feels much, much smoother. Yeah, there's a difference. There's absolutely a difference in these two lines.
The pull test is the final answer.
Right.
Yeah, if it'll take the pull test, I don't care what it feels like. But
the thing I'm really planning on doing here, you know, trying to keep, I'm going to naively go out and make a set of lines with this line I just got that I think is good. And I'm going to make them up, and I'm going to pull test them. And if they pull test good, I'm good to go. If they pull test bad.
Probably what I do.
Now, what I'm really dying to do here, I have not done this on any of them. I think I'm going to I got some leftover line from the end of some spools and stuff like that. I think I got some 80-pound line. and I'm gonna go see if I can break it. You'll make up like a 30-foot line or something like that, not just a little sample. I'm gonna go out, tie it to the tree and lean on it and see if I can break it.
Put a scale on it.
Well, that's
Bam.
what I got. I got a 110-pound scale. And I'll see if I can hit the 80 pounds or more and see if I can break it.
If the tree falls over, it's probably good.
That too. That's a tree I wouldn't mind falling over. Of course, I'm going to be pulling it towards me, but yeah, whatever. Sacrifices have to be made, I guess.
You can run fast.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, just remember to run to one side of which way it's falling, not directly back from it. Unless you're really sure how tall that tree is, run at right angles to it.
yeah.
I have some comments from Gerald Wimmer I'd like to read. But before that, please give us the thumbs up. Please give us a like. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. We have like 36 people watching us and we only have 25 likes. And it doesn't cost you a penny to give us a like, and that helps the analytics of the show. So please do that. And then Gerald Wimmer says, hello, Charles and everyone on Stunthangar. After testing my spectral lines, I'm happy with them compared to steel. I can break all the lines, including 18 inches steel, if you suddenly, but really score arms. That's what he said. And then he goes on to say he meant pull suddenly.
Yeah, Gerald did make a post where he described all the lines he's been testing and breaking and everything like that. And after checking out all his spectral lines, he made up some test pieces out of cable, steel cable, 015, 018. And so he actually had the whole set of data on there. So,
all right, wow. Here's the what I think is the fake stuff, and I've made one up.
Wow.
65 pound, right?
That was
Ain't no way that was 65 pounds.
No way.
Okay.
Welcome, Al Fiero. Mike is curious about the spools you had too, Al. And by the way, Al, I showed your picture of the month on the our Stunthangar video Hangout calendar.
And again, for comparison, the one that I think is real, I can't break it.
Now, which one is that, Mike?
As hard as I can.
Is that Max Quattro?
They're both Max Quattro. They're both 65-pound Max Quattro.
I was just catching.
And Al, the difference is the labels are different. Okay, so the white I think is the real label because this is what I've always.
How many pound test is that?
Mike, we're losing audio for some reason, Mike. Mike, we just hear you, see your lips moving. Don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
They're both 65 pound, Al.
Yeah, they're both 65. One was something that he had just received. One was some that he had on hand.
Well, this is mine. And now this is easy 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one, that's my 100 pound.
Right.
And that's breaking?
That's breaking. Wow. I mean, I fly with this on my Vector. I flew combat with it yesterday. And, it's not, it's passing the pull test and everything. But I can break this. Well, I showed you, I made it the other night and, Friday night, and I broke this. But,
wow.
And the fins, I call the fins breaks too. The fins G40, that breaks.
Mm-hmm. Well, they'll all break somewhere.
Well, I mean, relatively easy.
You know what I think? I think he's a brute. I think you're
Steve,
a brute,
thanks
Al.
for coming in, Steve.
Amen.
What's that?
I think you are a brute.
Well, I'm confused, and I'm sitting here scratching my head because I have two lines that are supposed to be identical other than color, and one breaks and the other one doesn't. So something weird's going on.
Something's going on. I don't know what it could be.
But my newer stuff, the 85, that broke like butter. I mean, you saw the other night. And I must have did it the past like 15 times. I couldn't believe it. And I wanted to show, I did it like 5 times before I came on the show. And I'm just doing a regular Palmer knot. I'm not even doing like a double serger knot, and the knots are fine. It breaks right in the middle.
Palmer knot's been known as 100% knot for a long time. If it's tied correctly, the line won't break till it's past its pull strength. You won't break the knot. You'll break the line.
Right.
That's a good knot.
So is that Max Quattro you're talking about there, or is it regular, just Power
Max
Pro?
Quattro. Max
Okay.
Quattro.
Okay.
But my 85-pound, I got to find the box. I'll be right. I just try to grab it real quick.
Al, before you disappear, I'll tell you something. Your plane looks better in person than it does on this picture, and it's pretty in the picture.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
That thing really is pretty, but
Yeah.
I've seen the plane, and that really is a pretty airplane.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Actually, we're having our vintage combat contest Sunday, this coming Sunday.
That ought to be fun.
Well, that should be fun.
Steve, how the heck are you?
Oh, not too bad.
Good deal.
Good stuff.
I'm gonna try to hunt down my other stuff. I'll be right back.
I'm glad to hear you
Breaking
feeling
any
better.
lines there, Dennis? I see
Well,
you got
actually,
your,
I thought I'd try. Can you read? You guys read that?
No, it's just a glare.
It's too shiny.
Right.
Too much glare.
Well, I was going to do something kind of scientific and just pull on it and see how hard I could pull on it. That's my scale.
Well, just tell us. We
Well,
trust you.
Turn it toward you. There you
I
go.
can't.
and
I
pull it.
can't pull with my eyes open. Oh.
Can you chew
I don't
gum and
believe
walk
I'd admit it.
backwards?
I don't believe I would have admitted that. That's got to be 100
150
pounds.
pounds,
I got it up to 60 pounds.
60 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, that's where my 100-pound Quattro broke, dropped me on my. Hello.
Yeah. I've been able to, when I go pull testing and stuff like that, I just take this and I like lean on it and everything like that. And I get, shall we say, gravity working for me. And I can get it past 50 pounds like that, easily with that. But
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you, I'm shook, man. This is it's got me scared. The stuff that I can break easily, I can guarantee you, it's either going back or it's going in the trash.
Well, keep us all posted on the research of the origin of this stuff.
Use it for serving line or something, or wrapping carbon shafts and with some CA. It's probably fine for that, but I won't fly an airplane with it.
yeah.
Did you fly one with it, Mike, or did you just do a pull test and it broke?
I just did a pull test on it because I saw Al's was breaking on Friday's show, but then I've got some other stuff identical that's not breaking. Well, I mean, same pound and supposed to be the same stuff, and I think they're different. That's my opinion, but
Do they mic out the same, Mike?
well, yeah, I can tell by looking at them. They're both 65. I mean,
Oh, okay.
the right size line.
Now here's the 80 that I broke. That really breaks easy.
Man, and that's got the right label on it too.
big air.
That shoots my theory all to hell that the label is the problem.
Now, do you have the regular Power Pro? Because what was it? Ara? How do you pronounce his name? Ara? He said.
Ara. Yeah, I got some. I got a bunch in here. I've got some 100-pound in yellow and.
Did you try to break that? He said he couldn't break that.
I will.
Okay, yeah, give that a try.
Wow.
I don't know. That's strange.
Is anybody ready for a show and tell? I don't know if
Yeah, let's lay it on us.
up or whatever. Like Mike.
What you got, Steve?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was asking Charles.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you got there, charger?
This is a disc
Discharge.
charger. This is the one that Hobby King had on sale for $30-some. It was half off or whatever. This thing works really slick. I mean, it Bluetooths with your telephone, and you can set discharge voltage and all that kind of stuff. And I tested it, and it only goes down to 5 though. And they said, you know, to break in a battery, 1 to 2 amps. So 5 is like a 25, you know, milliamp pack. And so I don't know if if 5 amps on a new battery. I don't know if anybody breaks in their batteries or not, but I was just throwing it, you know, some say 3 times, some say 5 times, but I would just charge it up and then put it on here. It would discharge it in a little bit and then charge it back up and discharge it while, you know, I was working. But yeah, at 25 amps, this thing will take a pack down in about 10 minutes. The battery, you know,
Wow.
use.
I
So
don't know
that's
the
kind of
numbers on that, even at the non-sale price. I'll have to order one of those.
I don't know. Did you write it down?
No.
No, I can hold it back up again. It's. Can you read it?
Really,
No, I can't read
can't
that
see
thing.
it.
Okay.
It's too shiny, Steve.
It's ISDT FD 200.
FB 200.
FD.
FD.
Oh, wait a minute. I do have a set of glasses here. Now I can read it. Yes. F is in Frank, D is in dog. 200.
Okay.
And this company is who makes all of the smart chargers for Horizon and the smart batteries that you know they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They make their stuff is Horizon stuff or whatever.
Steve, is that one battery at a time?
No, they said on there that, and that's what I was thinking about. If I had more than one battery, I was watching some videos that you can actually, if you have a parallel board, is that what they call it, where you can charge more than one at the same time?
Yeah.
You can discharge at the same time. That way, if you wanted to get the voltage down lower than 5 amps, you could add 2 or 3 batteries and cycle them together. But yeah,
Okay.
that'll. And when it was all the way down to storage voltage, everything was within point 1 or 0.05.
Wow.
Yeah, it
Either
was
one's pretty tight.
And there's no balance port on it to do it. What I did was on the final one is that I brought it down to 3.8, and my one charger does them at 3.85. So I brought it down to 3.8, and then it balanced it back up to 3.85 in, I don't know, 2 minutes or something. And then everything was all balanced between all the cells and stuff. So, but I just tried that.
Sounds like a winner.
Yeah, that's,
a good plan.
Discharger from Hobby King. Okay.
The other day I went out and the wind was blowing a hoolie after I got there and stuff. And I didn't use 2 packs, and I went through, that's before I had it. Sat there at home and discharged batteries for like 5 hours for the charger.
It takes a while. It definitely does.
And
All right, I got a question. I'm a Southern boy.
yeah.
What the heck is a hoolie?
Len?
Tell them, Len.
A hoolie is when it's blowing like the dickens and you don't want to fly. It's a hoolie.
Okay. Okay, I
That's what
understand
blowing
that.
a hoolie is. When it's blowing a hoolie, you probably aren't going to go out and put in too many flights that day.
Well, okay, I understand
When you look
that.
out the window and the trees are going sideways, it's blowing a hoolie.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Al,
Okay,
I got the 100. This is the original 100.
okay,
I can't do nothing with it.
yeah. That's what, I
I'm
mean,
gonna hang it from my garage door and hang on it and see if I can get it to break. but I ain't getting.
You might break your garage door.
Shorten it up,
You're
Mike.
liable to
Don't
bend
break
your
your
garage door.
You have it,
You might bend something, Mike.
Mike, you have it too
Might
long.
bend your tailbone, you know.
Well, my luck, the screwdriver will fly out and go right through the wing of my axioma or something, man.
Through your chest and stab you in the heart.
But this ain't breaking.
No.
Yeah. Why can't
Yeah, I was able to break it by putting a load, snapping it,
Right.
but it didn't break at the knot.
That don't really count. I had a
yesterday?
fish hit a lure a week ago and hit like that and snapped a $200 rod like that. It just exploded. So yeah, you're better off the line broke. Trust me. I can get the rod replaced, but it's going to cost me $50, and I got to ship a section of it back to prove that it broke.
I think the hot tip is to pull test every spool you get, and if you can break it in your hands, I would say it's suspect. If you can't, it's probably okay. That's all I got to say on the subject.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mike. I think it's a great conversation.
Take your chances, man. Pays your money.
I actually, I thought that, going with a name brand like Power Pro was a good thing, but I think they become the target for everybody, and they become a target for the counterfeiters as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking right now, there's the Fins company. All right, they make the 40G. They make several other products, but they sell directly. You can buy it directly from their factory in Kentucky. All right.
That's the way to go.
And that sounds to me like that takes all the
Madness
mystery
out of it.
So I'm thinking now. I was
Fins
thinking about
40G.
getting some 40G. Well, I'm going to get some. I was thinking about getting everything in 40G, but they also they have a product called Spin that's same sizes as Max Quattro. And the regular Wind Tamer product is the same sizes as regular Power Pro. And I'm thinking any of those would be suitable choices for similar reasons. They'd all be good choices to try.
Let me welcome Bob Whitley. Thank you, Bob, for coming in.
Hey,
Appreciate
Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, guys.
Bob.
Been a while.
It had too long.
Yeah,
Now, have you
about
been
3
flying
weeks, just
any?
about.
You've been flying any model airplanes, or you just been flying full scale?
Full scale. I'm swamped. Life's been. I can't take on any more customers. I'm swamped.
So life's
And here
been
I am
good, huh?
trying to semi-retire. It's not
I
working out
laugh
so
at you.
well.
You funny.
I'll show you a
Semi-retire means
model
you got hit
airplane
by a
flight,
truck.
though. Our contest was a write-off. I mean, we just had horrible winds and storms and lightning and everything, and we had to scrub it. So, but
That's too
I'll show
bad.
you the day before, though, on some of the winds when I did something stupid.
Oh,
Was that a
boy.
hoolie?
A hoolie.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Oh
Oh,
no.
I broke the nose clean off my old flight streak, but I've rebuilt that 2 or 3 times in the past. Maybe again, I might put a 25 on it this time. I don't know.
what maneuver was you doing when you?
Actually, I was just
nine.
doing it. Yeah, I did. Actually, no, it wasn't even a figure 9.
Wasn't it?
I was going into a lazy 8s and partially stupid. I had a weak running engine. I had an engine on I hadn't run before, an FP 35. And I had an inboard mounted tank, and I wasn't accounting for it running richer as it takes off and runs. And I kind of lost line tension, partially that stupid decision, partially I was just a bit out of position for the wind, and the wind caught it and sent it sailing across the circle, and I'm running backwards. And had I had maybe 3 more seconds, I might have caught it. But anyway, caught full line tension just as it was about to hit the ground and broke the nose clean off.
So it might have been a softer impact if you didn't get the line tension back, huh?
Maybe, who knows? But whatever, no engine damage or anything that way.
That's
Just broke
good.
the nose off. It's actually probably going to be pretty easy to repair, but I've got an FP20 here and an FP20 and a LA 25 on the way. So I might try out those instead of the old school engines. I don't know.
Mhm.
And I've got another flight streak coming to me anyway with an LA 25 on it. So
Now, when you
crap
repair,
happens, right?
are you gonna go further back to the high point of the wing?
With the doubler, yeah. When I splice in, I'll have to add back, or I might have a weak area there anyway. I might just uncover the whole thing just to check, but I think I don't see any damage to any further back, but you never know. So I'll peel the covering off the fuse. But it's just part of the game.
Did Mike give an update on the contest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't go Sunday. He missed the last day, right, Mike?
No, we went Sunday morning. We just flew the first event and then left.
I got a new toy to show you guys too.
I saw Steve on Friday. Steve stopped by with a sack full of engines for me that he picked up in Grand Rapids. And he drove out to Detroit to drop them off for us. So that was cool.
Yeah, 4-hour drive too, I understand.
Well, he had another run to make down to Ohio anyway for some other stuff. So he kind of swung by us on the way back.
That little bit of construction took me 45 minutes to get through it. That's why it was a 4-hour drive back.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It was, we were just stopped going nowhere. And I couldn't figure, it went from 3 lanes to 2 lanes to 1 lane back to 2, but it was bad.
I was curious. I was going to ask you, Steve, had you ever been to the Rouge Park flying site before? Did you go there back in the day when they had contests down there?
No, I always wanted to go and I never got to go.
Because I'll tell you, in its heyday, man, the Strathmore Club at Rouge Park was, well, Dennis can tell you all about it, man. It was the place, man. When they had it was like the Nats going on down there when they had the state meets down there.
Oh yeah,
that's what I heard. We used to have some really good meets down there. Did you fly at Rouge this weekend?
Yeah, we flew at the Rouge, man.
Oh wow, I thought they were all shut down. I thought you guys were flying out as signal seekers.
Well, they did for the May meet. They flew at signal seekers because they didn't have the Rouge cleaned up after the flood last year. That was the problem. That all flooded really bad, and it brought a bunch of because the Rouge River runs right next to the circle.
It's the floodplain for the.
And it covered the circles because there's a 70-foot paved circle, and then they've got a center pad with a 80-foot combat circle that's all grass with a concrete center pad. But it was trashed with just logs and debris from the river. It was pretty bad, and it took them, over a year to clean it up. So they had the May meet at the Signal Seekers Club. But we're back to flying at Rouge now. They got it all cleaned up and back in shape. So it's there. But that place has got so much history, man. And
it does.
They flew. They had 3 combat circles on one side, and then a stunt grass circle and the paved circle where they did carrier and racing. I remember as a kid in the 70s going down there and just watching all day long. And it was sun up to sundown. When I say there were 75 guys there, that's not a joke, man.
Yeah, or more, I heard.
No.
Yeah, in all different events, man. And that was like the premier flying site for southeastern Michigan for 30 years. And they still had big contests, I can remember, into the early 90s. And then kind of after that, it kind of started petering off a little bit.
Yeah,
I remember the number one event on the field was always carrier, if you can imagine that, where a carrier is now. But everybody flew carrier as their second event. And those guys would be flying, back to back to back. They'd be flying, everybody else would be done at 4. They'd be flying till 6:30, 7 o'clock sometimes.
Yeah. And they had
let everybody get their flights. So
they had, and I remember this as a kid because I always thought it was the coolest thing. They had a full silhouette aircraft carrier too. Yes. It wasn't just the deck with ropes over it, but they had the superstructure. Just if you're looking at a silhouette of a carrier, that's exactly what it looked like. And God knows how long it took them to set that thing up and haul it out there and break it down. But it was really neat, man. Because they even had signal flags going from the top of the superstructure down to the fore end and the back end of the deck. You know what I mean?
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt. We're sort of there's a question I have. Go ahead, Jim Hoffman.
So on a different subject, we went flying this weekend, and I tried putting these 20 thousandths thick strips on the trailing edge of the elevator. An interesting thing happened. I took a few flights and I didn't feel anything remarkable, noticeable about them. Certainly no harm, maybe some good. Whatever it was very subtle. But the thing we noticed was in inverted flight, the airplane was flying noticeably tail low. So noticed that, landed, took a good look. And it was, and this airplane, it's an impact, pretty much, E-powered Predator's impact. It has a good bit of down elevator cranked into it. That was necessary to take the hunt out, and it's a pretty good flying airplane. So, we noticed that, and we're out of batteries. So we're going to go back out Wednesday, and I cranked in a little more up elevator. Took out some of that down, and I can take these strips on and off, see what that does. But that was very interesting.
Did you check battery usage yet, Jim?
Say again, please.
Did you check battery usage?
Yeah, it's unchanged. These are just 20,000 thick strips.
Oh, okay.
Unchanged. But there was noticeably tail low and inverted. And these are a couple guys, I noticed it, and my partners who've seen the airplane fly many times, they noticed it too.
So these trip strips are put on both the bottom and top of the stab, was it?
It's both the top and bottom, and it's on the trailing edge of the elevator.
Elevator, okay.
Just they're 20 thousandths thick, 1/4 inch wide, maybe 3/16 forward of the trailing edge.
So you're saying tail low inverted and upright, it was okay, or was it tail high upright?
Upright, it was normal. Inverted, it was tail low.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Explain that.
Oh.
Yeah, it might have been easier to see one way or the other too, but it's, but yeah, I'm anxious to, see how that works, now that you tweak the elevator trim a little bit, that seems like that would, if you did that to cure hunting and you undo it, are you going to reintroduce hunting or something like that, right? So
I'll tell you Wednesday.
yeah.
Things to
Or
learn.
have you tried maybe
I
adding
can wait
a little
till
bit
Friday.
of nose weight?
So
Say again, I
adding
couldn't
a
hear.
bit of nose weight to see what happens?
No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not messing with CG. No, I didn't mess with CG. I don't think it's a CG thing.
well, it's interesting. You did one thing, and that was a total unexpected outcome. So yeah,
That is interesting.
Was there a reason why you didn't put the strips like right at the trailing edge?
Because I took pictures of Chris Cox's airplane and I'm copying what he did.
What does he know?
I flew his airplane. He knows a lot.
I know. Well, we're friends, of course.
I don't know about strips or anything like that, but Chris talks about painting. I'm going to listen. That's for sure. So
That's for sure.
yeah, building.
I'm looking at going down to
definitely
see
going
Chris the second weekend of October. Just they have a fun fly down there and dinner and stuff. So I'm gonna pick up a few airplanes from a guy down there, and I'm thinking about making that a good weekend. I haven't been to Vancouver in years, except flying over it. So it'd be nice to see Chris and meet some of the other guys down there.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Sounds like fun.
That's maybe one of the more parts I enjoy of it. Your models is the trimming stuff, trying these things and trying to make it fly better. Because certainly I'm not getting better, but maybe I can make the airplane better.
Go ahead, Joe.
Jim, I'm thinking out loud. If your elevator was down and you put an extra part on it, that gave it more power and that would drive the flaps down. When you go inverted, it would hunt like that worse. Does that make sense? If you already had elevator down and you put a strip on the back, that'd give it more bite, more power. And it might have pushed it up harder than it did without it and made it feel funny inverted, to be my guess. Is that possible?
Certainly.
Yeah.
You're making it more powerful, putting that on it. If it's already
Oh, I
down
see
to
what you're
begin
saying.
with, you gave it extra to
You
pick
might
up.
double the thickness of the strip and see if that changes it much.
Hmm.
Those strip steps are, there's some issues you got to pay attention to on that, in my opinion.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, that's
just a
useful.
thought. Just a thought. May not be a good one.
Well, they can come off as easy as they went on.
That's exactly
it.
right.
Yeah.
Charles, I got an unrelated topic, but something that you guys might enjoy.
Sure.
I watch YouTube quite a bit, and somehow I started getting Wendy's videos on there. Wendy Arnowski.
Yes.
Okay. Some of them you have to do a lot of sifting through to find what you're looking for. But I'll tell you, one of the things I've enjoyed is this coverage of the Nats when guys flew that I never knew. I've never seen them. So that was pretty exciting to me. It also triggered a whole series of videos from AMA, videos about the Good brothers, Walt and his brother, when they started RC in the 30s. And it's really a lot of fun to watch this stuff. And
Yeah, they were great guys.
Wendy has some really good tips about sanding and building and finishing. And, I never saw him fly. So it's good for someone who hasn't been in it as long as some of you guys have, because I was in RC most of my life, just the last 10 years. So I just thought I'd throw that out at you. I think he's found under CL Guy, Control Line Guy.
Yeah, that's
Actually, that's just one of them.
That's only
just
one of them. That's right. The latest
there's
one
CL
is the
Guy.
Walt. Yeah, go ahead.
There's CL Guy, there's Walt Burnell, and then Paul
Pete Taylor.
Pete Taylor. Pete Taylor, I
Yeah.
think it is. For Paul
It's
Taylor.
just under Pete Taylor. It doesn't have the
Taylor,
full
okay.
Taylor on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Paul Taylor has both the CL Guy and the PT, the one that Bob's talking about. But yeah, they're all very good. I was when I first saw the Wendy videos on YouTube, I started downloading them and burning them to DVDs, afraid they were going to go away. And I've accumulated like 300 discs. Yeah.
Well, it's Kevin King and a couple of the other guys got all excited about that. Actually, I'm
Yeah,
happy to say that I was able to pass along a few Windy World Champs and Nats videos to them too to copy and put on.
I had a whole case of videos that Wendy gave me that I sent to Kevin King, and he uploaded most of them.
It was also fun to see what the guys were wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were wearing some
Yeah, white
pretty
pants and
short.
white shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Short
A lot of fun.
Hang on, let me see what Al Fierro wants to show us. And then I haven't forgotten about your show and tell, Bob Whitley.
I bought these things.
Yeah.
They're vortex generators or for some kind of ARF. And I put them on my a stunt plane, a Buccaneer. It's actually a very heavy Buccaneer, 85 ounces. Trying to get it.
Ooh.
Leonard like it.
So, I would like it too. I've flown heavy planes.
So anyway, I put it on, on each wing, right at the high point of the wing. I started flying a plane, and I noticed right away the plane was tracking maybe about 5 feet higher. And I did it inside, and it seemed tighter. And I did it outside, and nobody was home. So I ripped them off. But so and then after I took them off, I had to put the up back in my handle. I had to readjust my handle. So I had to, when I first took off I flew it. And then after that flight, when I had them on, I had to put more down in my handle. And then and then after I didn't like it and took them and pulled them off, I had to go ahead and put the up back in my handle again, and the turning went back, to its, normal bed inside and outside, similar, but not like with these on. So maybe I don't know, they do cause an effect, but on that plane, it didn't help at all. Or maybe I should have moved them to a different spot on the bottom of the wing. They weren't at their, making enough lift on the bottom where I had them, but I put it equal on both. There was, two of these on each panel. So
how thick is that plate that those vortex generators are on? Like 1/16 or
no, it's
1/32?
It's like maybe 40 thousandths or something.
Those look like they have a pretty severe angle to the airflow.
Yeah.
Did you use those strips, or did you just put the individual vortex generators on
Just-
there? Or did you use the strip?
I put them on. I put them on just the way they are on the ARF plane that they're meant for. It has a little recess in the wing where this sits down in.
Oh, nice.
But I don't have that on my plane. But
Is there any discontinuity in the surface of the wing then? There would be.
Yeah.
So they did make a significant difference, but like I said, it wasn't positive. I mean, it wasn't for flying, but it didn't make the plane track a lot higher.
Yeah, is that just the single link that you used on you used all those strips and with that? Or did you use two strips?
I used 8 strips altogether.
Oh, wow. Okay.
8 strips altogether, two on each wing. It's a 700 square inch wing.
It's interesting because what I've seen, and I've flown one of my airplanes with these things, but only maybe had 8 sets of those strips individually placed on top of the wing without the strip.
Right.
Each one was attached, each little element that's separate, not with that continuous strip like that.
Right.
And that's the way I've seen most of it done.
Well, right. Well, I figured this was factory installed. They put them on in the right spot instead of, me just guessing where they go. So they, from the factory, they have these, pretty steep angles on them. So I figured.
It's a stow plane, the one on the factory. What I saw was a stow plane, Cub type foamy.
Yeah, I think this was on a biplane.
Was it a biplane? Biplane.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. See ya. Well, you already left. And welcome, Bob Gore. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Remember we were talking about hats at the Nats?
Yes.
You got to check out my new hat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hang on.
Covers up that big bald spot.
Your nose won't be sunburned.
You're gonna leave your fedora hat and wear that, Joe?
No.
Oh, okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, this is my new getup.
Hey, Lon.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a try at the contest on Saturday. We'll see.
When
what
it
goes.
blows a hoolie.
Oh yeah,
you'll be like
that's what this is for.
You'll be like
this little sucker right up
Yeah,
there.
what-
Keep it on nice and tight.
Now you got to do your overheads with that.
That's a
Hey,
pretty cool
I got
hat,
a buddy
man.
that looks back far enough that he can look straight. I mean, his face is flat with the with the ground. I don't know how anybody can stand back that far, look up that much, and not fall on their back. But Tommy can do it. He's amazing.
Come on, Len's so good he doesn't even have to look up. He just act
Oh,
like
not
he's
that
up
good.
on a
I
flyer
gotta look
flying
up.
for
I don't
fish.
have any. I can just tip the hat back while I do my overheads and pull it back over. No
Then I
problem.
got a buddy that's got one of those that's got a fan in it, and he sets it up. He's got 2 little speakers mounted in it. He's got a fan on the top, and he sets it all up Bluetooth with his telephone. He's got a telephone in his pocket. I thought that's too darn much complication. I didn't want to worry about that much junk. What happens? I'd get it all tuned up and the batteries would go dead, so I don't want to fool with it.
Well,
but it's a neat look. It's a neat looking hat. That ought to keep you cool.
I told Joe, everybody, I love the look that Joe has, but I would never steal it off him.
You can have it.
I had to come up with my own look, and this.
I understand. Yeah, yeah.
You can have it.
Look.
I like
Yeah,
Joe's
Joe
look
look-
too. That fedora, Joe looks so stylish
Yes, he does.
when he has
No
that
doubt about
fedora
it.
on.
Well, Len, if you
Hey,
start
Len,
flying like Joe, everybody's gonna buy that hat.
Yeah, I know. They'll be wanting me to start
I
selling
tell you
them.
what, if it'll make me fly like Joe, I'll buy 3 of them.
Hey, I have
Hey,
a
no, Lance,
question for
I agree.
Bob Whitley. Bob Whitley, did you want to do another show and tell?
Yeah, sure. A couple of little things. But first, Len, I agree with you. That is a look.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gotta have
Yeah,
my own. Gotta have my own look.
I've been putting off buying one of these for a while. Just keep forgetting about it. Milwaukee Motor Tool,
Yeah.
because I got a whole swag load of the batteries and everything anyway. And you know, this thing is better than any Dremel I've ever owned.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's battery powered and just
Wow.
and you know, they sell it tool only, or at least I think they do, because I didn't need the charger and all that. And it came with cut-off discs, the fiber reinforced with a decent flange that doesn't snap the discs like those little dinky Dremel things do.
Yes. Yeah. That's much
So
better
anyway,
design.
if any of you guys got Milwaukee 12-volt stuff, this is I think it's a hell of a good buy. I paid, well, a couple of months ago it was about $80 Canadian, and now it's 113 in the one store I bought it at, 135 in another one. So of course I spent 135. Yeah, right. But so they're going up in price, but so you could probably get them for about $70 American, I imagine. So if you're running Milwaukee 12-volt tools at all, grab one. I'm real happy with it. The other thing is my engine stand that I showed you, just the basic stand a while back, I tore it apart and redid it because my wife is big into the knitting stuff for the antique hand crank circular knitting machines for making socks and stuff. And we went down to the Badlands, to the dinosaur country there, and she picked up another knitting machine, or had bought one. So we went down to pick it up. The guy had a whole bunch of other stuff, antique stuff there, including stands for these machines. And we got them for next to nothing. Somebody had butchered the hell out of them, so they were useless for any intrinsic antique value or usefulness for her. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to have about the class engine run test stand around. So I took one of them. If I can, actually, I'll flip my camera around here so I can see what I'm showing you. Just a sec here. So I took one of these antique stands and carved my aluminum plate around so it would fit into the recessed bosses on it and stuff. So I've got this heavy cast iron antique, probably 100-year-old stand for my engine test runs now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just to be different.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you can do it. You can.
Yeah.
Why
And
not?
it's got little holes in the bottom there, so I can put tent pegs into the grass, so I don't have to worry about it tipping.
That's
very
idea.
nice.
Good
Hey,
idea.
Len, you still there?
Yes.
Hey, listen, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I'm not sure you want to wear that hat around other
no.
people.
You may get shot.
Oops.
Can't win.
That gave me the shivers as soon as I saw you in there.
Oh no.
You got something
Ready to
about-
get my M16.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
You know that PSD, do you, when you saw that hat? Post-stress disorder when you saw the hat?
Yeah. But Len looks cute in it. He looks good in it.
I tell you what,
That's an
that had to
exaggeration.
be.
He looks good.
Oh, Gary's conked out.
Well, he'll wake up in a
He'll
minute.
be
Well, at
back.
least-
He'll wake up for the after party.
At least
Yeah.
there's something I look good in.
And we got to
It's gonna
protect our
be hard.
heads. You know, we don't have much hair, so we got to protect our
Oh, yeah,
heads.
you gotta protect the head. That's the whole idea, is to
That's
keep that sun
exactly
off.
right.
That's
We
better.
don't have
Oh.
any thing to protect our.
It's
our
more
Y'all are
about
heads.
getting
keeping the
bad.
sun off than anything.
Y'all are getting bad. Guys, I see you Friday. I'm gonna get ready I gotta get up and go early in the morning. Take
Hey, we'll
care.
see you, Phil.
Take
See you,
care.
Phil.
Take care,
Safe
Phil.
travel.
All right, see you,
Take
Phil.
care,
Thanks for
everybody.
coming in. Hey, Phil, check your
Yes, sir.
phone. I sent you a Jeff Riley's phone number. He asked
Okay.
me to give you his phone number. It's in your. I text you about 20 minutes
I
ago.
got it. I got it right there. Thank you, sir. I will
You're
give him
welcome.
a call tomorrow.
All right.
Have a great one, everybody.
All right, man. See
Good
you.
night, Phil.
Yeah. See you, Phil.
See you, Phil.
Dennis,
Yeah,
did you know David
David
Who?
Keith.
Keats?
Oh yeah, Dave Keats. Yeah.
Yeah. Friend of mine, Jim Drost, was his buddy back in the day in the Detroit area.
Yeah.
They flew pylon together and a lot of stuff. At
Yeah, he used
Rose-
to fly
Rose
control
Park.
line a long time ago, and he got into pylon racing, and he
Yep.
actually got back into control line.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Jim Drost he flew at Rouge. How do you say it? Rouge Park?
Rouge Park.
Rouge. They flew there back when
That's it. He would have
maybe
been right. He
Roland
would
was
have been
even
one of the
there.
main guys there in the
Roland.
combat event.
Roland was there in those days when he's talking about too. Roland McDonald.
Yep. He probably knew a lot of the Strathmore boys into
Yes.
The Ebbingers and Pulowski and the Davis brothers and
Were you around those
Okay.
years?
No, they had they were basically gone about the time we
Okay.
got there. And Raleigh, we had seen, my brother remembers seeing Raleigh at the field, seeing his airplanes, the ones that were published. But he basically had gotten out about the time they started flying. So. Well, okay, they used to fly, my dad and my brothers flew a lot before they got into competition. They used to go out with a whole car full of Sterling profiles, 15 size airplanes and stuff like that. They'd burn up a gallon of gas using 1 ounce tanks and Fox 15.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. That's hardcore.
Yeah, that's hardcore. They would literally fly all day long. And that was, they'd get a lot of flying in before they started flying competition and stuff. They did an awful lot of that. So.
Well, we got a super chat, 1999. Thank you very much from
Woohoo!
Middlesex Modelers. Thank you, Al
All
Fierro.
right.
Appreciate that.
All right,
immensely.
fantastic.
Haven't gotten any super chats in a while. Mike Millar did, I think, a couple weeks ago. So thank you very much for the super chats. That does help the analytics of the channel, and it does help me a little bit too. I get a little piece of that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that immensely. I know Sparky does too. So things have been really slow. So thank you. And what do you got there, Bob Gore? Do you have a counterfeit spool, or is that authentic, or is it good or bad?
Yeah, it's a Power Pro Spectra lines,
Right.
50 pound.
Right.
And in my test, it breaks between 25 and 36 pounds.
No bueno.
So they're breaking on you too.
So we're supposed to take Mike's advice, and every time we get a spool of anything, we line test it.
Yeah, check it.
I mean, I just flew combat Sunday. I grabbed the pull tester and just see what I could pull. And it's hard to pull 50 pounds, so this stuff is breaking way before 50 pounds.
Well, you did that first one the other night. It hardly looked like you hardly brought it up to the snug, and it let
Yeah,
go.
right. That was 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you look at old steel cable when I had that flyover of my flight streak and hit the end of the lines. One of my I got to take my lines and shorten them a couple inches now. One of them at the thimble with crimp connector stretched out a little bit.
I'm going to do steel lines. I got some 15,000, so I'm going to put crimps and loops on them because the combat guys, we don't put thimbles on them. The lines don't last that long when we're flying steel. We just loop them and crimp them, and because they, in the line tangle, you throw them away. They get all thrown.
Yeah.
That's what's great about Spectra. You get in a line tangle, and when you're done, you just, separate the lines, and it's like nothing happened.
Mhm.
You know,
I'm wondering about buying the Spectra lines here because I've looked at Amazon in Canada, and the specs that Dennis was talking about, I can't seem to find them on Amazon here or at Cabela's.
I'm going to call
So I'm
these
kind of
guys
wondering
up.
if I might have to have someone in the States buy them for me or something.
And okay, what were you looking for then?
I forget what the specs were that you had listed for, replace 15s and 18s.
Okay, yeah, I was using the 50-pound Max Quattro to replace 015s and the 80-pound to replace 018s. And
Yeah, the 80-pound I could find it, but I'd have to be spending like $200 on lines just because they were only selling them in like 2,000-foot rolls or something.
Whoa.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about Amazon Canada or anything like that. If your selections are much less or anything like that.
Oh,
But I've
it
been
could be
able to-
such a ripoff. Like when they were selling the Evolution engines,
Mhm.
they were about $80 in the States. They were wanting to have about $200 here.
That's
Screw that.
crazy.
Yeah.
I am surprised. Well, okay, you're inland, I guess, right? But I guess I'm surprised that you couldn't have more luck finding stuff at just basically tackle shops and stuff like that. Fishing.
Yeah,
tackle
that's where
shops
I'm
and stuff.
thinking of looking. I haven't dropped in there yet, but there's a local shop that was advertising the Spectre lines that might be the same ones you were talking about. It was kind of vague on their website. And I just haven't driven across town and taken the time to check them out yet.
Mhm.
Most of these websites are kind of hopeless. You got to go in there.
Some of them are a real pain, but I've been getting stuff out of I've been trying to buy stuff out of the tackle shops when I can. Tackle Direct one I've been using. All I'm getting there right now are the little loops I tie on the end of the line. But they sometimes have the braid that I'm looking for. Sometimes they don't. I've got some braid at Wally World, at Walmart. I've gotten some at the local tackle shop. We had a Cabela, not Cabela's. What's the other one?
Bass Pro.
Yeah, Bass Pro.
Same
Yeah, up
thing.
here
you
they're
know.
the same company now.
Yeah. So at any rate, Steve is
Got it here,
waving
Steve?
hello or waving goodbye.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
waving
tell.
goodbye.
All right,
Okay,
Steve.
we'll see you, Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be ending the show in about 15 minutes anyways. And we got another super chat by Gerald Wimmer. Thank you, Gerald. Appreciate it.
Hey, Gerald.
That's great.
Happy
Gerald
down
Wimmer,
under.
all right.
I have
You guys,
I have
you guys are scaring me about these pull tests. I think before I go to the bathroom tonight, I'm going to pull test the toilet paper.
Yeah, me too.
What you got there, Al? What are you showing us? Is that a business card? Or what?
This is the information inside the 80 pounds. So I'm going to call them up tomorrow. They're in California.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm going to give them a call. It's the brochure that shows you how to tie the knots.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do they have the surgeon's knot in there?
What's that?
They have the double surgeon's knot or the modified?
No, they don't have
I
that.
don't know. Well, they showed them how to tie it on the hook.
I think I'm
I gotta
sure they
sneak
got
away
the
for a
uni
couple
knot
minutes
and the
here.
Palomar and
Uni
two
to
other rods.
uni, the Palmer, the Albright, the reverse Albright, the Slim Beauty, the Bob Sands. That's it.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they got it. They got all the.
Yep.
But that won't do me any good though, right? Because I need the surgeon's knot.
Well, the surgeon's not something like a Palmer knot. But it's like, but we're doubling it up.
Well, the surgeon's knot is used in fly fishing. I've
It
been
is?
tying them for years to tie the tippet onto the leader.
And they don't list it as a surgeon knot here.
I'm still using the knot that Mike Lonke uses. Do you know what the name of that knot is?
I thought it was a modified surgeon's knot.
Or the double. They were calling it
Yeah,
the
with the double.
circle.
Yeah, that's what I'm using. I
Hey,
haven't had
Gerald
any
Wimmer's in
trouble.
the house. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, Gerald.
I just thought I'd got to come in. I was working on the tractor, and the boys just got home, so I thought I'll come online and maybe say a few words about the
Thank
Spectra
you.
line. And I just wanted to say, when I broke them, I didn't just pull; I went and yanked on them to break them. And I've still got a sore arm. Both arms are sore after doing
Nice
it.
workout.
Yeah, it was a good workout, but I wouldn't recommend it. Sometimes I'd break and then it would whip back and it would get you, and it was not easy to break them. Yeah.
I'm going to try to steal.
So you think it was more of a shock that why you broke them,
Yeah,
Gerald?
yeah. Because
They
when
like
I
to work
did,
here.
You was to gradually do it, you think you wouldn't break it?
no, if it was a gradual pull, you actually had to try a few times. And when they did break, they sort of all curled up when they broke. But with the steel, sometimes, like on the 15th hour line, it still took a couple of attempts before it broke. And then when I did the 18th hour line, that took some effort to break it. You had to pull it a few times before it would give. And then when it did give, it was sort of sudden because you'd obviously stressed it before it let go.
Has anybody
So
checked to see what 18 thou steel line breaks at?
it's supposed to be about 50 pounds.
Okay.
About
According to
55 pounds, I think, is by specification. It's
Okay.
supposed to be right around there. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you do the line pull test, you should pull out the dodgy line. But we have struck dodgy line, and some of it's been cheaper line. The Max Quattro has been good for us. We haven't really had any trouble with it at all. But the cheap Berkeley line, sometimes it starts balling up. You get the fabric seems to or the Spectra or whatever seems to ball up into little lumps along the line. You run your hands across it and you feel these lumps starting to occur. So yeah, some of the cheaper lines do some weird things, but that's where I think testing it's all so vital really to test your lines before you fly them.
so one things I wanted to do somewhere along the line is I wanted to try some of the off-brand lines and some of the the cheap lines and stuff like that, and just see if they're what the difference was and stuff. I'll be naive and say, gee, they rate theirs at 80 pounds also. You'd think it would break at 80 pounds. And maybe it does a lot of other funky stuff getting there. Maybe it stretches a lot or something. I don't know. But,
And like
that's
Mike
what I
was
thought, yeah.
saying, like Mike was saying about those weird labels on those other labels on it, when I was mentioning a few minutes ago about Amazon Canada, most of them that seemed to be kind of within the specs were that strange blue label.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
'cause
that blue
what
label, I've got them both ways, and I think it's I'm thinking it's old label blue or new label, and I think the old label was that plain black label or whatever, black and white label, and the blue label was new.
Have you
But
pulled
see,
on
I've
your
got
blue
them
label
both
stuff?
ways. I've got mixed lines for my, I got a green line and a white line for my 50 pound. One of them is the plain label and the other is the blue label. And the lines themselves feel the same,
Okay.
the material. Remember, Mike said that the one line just didn't feel right. Al, can you tell any difference with yours?
The difference in
Al
the,
still, Mike was saying he just running his fingers on it and stuff like that. He thought the texture and whatever else, and the weave felt different on the bad line. It actually felt a little smoother than the other.
mine are two different. One's 80
Yeah.
and the other's 100. Let me see. I got it right here.
But usually the Power Pro's got it's actually surprisingly rough, and
No, it looks the same.
okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe the 80 seems a little more coarse.
And
It seems
it's the
more
opposite of
coarse.
what Mike was saying. So
like
and
when
the
I
80
run
is the one that went
when I
bad
run
on
my-
you, right?
when I run my finger across it versus running my finger across the 80, the 80 feels a little more coarse. You know,
Okay.
who knows? I wonder if I can just break it like this.
I think you got a good plan A there, again, when Jim called Power Pro about his line problem, they asked him to send a line in and apparently didn't challenge him too much on it. And
Like I said, I'm gonna make
fact of they might know that they had an issue or something like that, but
I'm gonna make a piece of 15,000 steel and
Yeah.
and do the same test. Crimp it up real good and
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure I did 18,000s in the past. And just checking my crimps, the way I was crimping, checking my crimps, and if I was having problems with the crimps slipping, but I didn't break the line. Yeah, but till I got my technique down right.
Yeah, right.
But now I'm gonna just get like 2 loops on a 10-inch piece of line and try it, and then that'll be apples to apples.
Well, that's kind of like you're saying the crimp slipped a little bit. That's what happened to me with my flight streak when I lost it a few weeks ago. Smashed it in when it sailed right across the circle, and I caught tension just before it crashed there. One of my lines, slipped. The crimp slipped just a little bit, but nothing broke.
Yeah.
And so my eyelet was a little bit loose. It's still in there, so it barely moved. But I've been using a triple crimp with the spike style ones from Electrical. And, every pull tester, everything has been just fine.
I used the Berkeley, the fishing tackle stuff, the 80-pound crimps, and they work really good. I tried that copper stuff that, it just, I can't get it right. It just slips on it. But the Berkeley fishing tackle, and I use electrical pliers. There's a spot on electrical pliers. I put 2 crimps in it, and it holds really good.
Yeah, I use 3 crimps. I'll dig one out and just show you if you guys want. Oh, it's been working.
So Al, that Berkeley crimp, was that a heavy wall copper tube, or what was that?
I think it's stainless steel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could go dig them up and show you. If you want to see
I'm
it.
more curious. I was curious, on one level, but I still have no intention of making any steel lines or anything like that.
Yeah, well,
so,
okay, well,
yeah.
no, they're made by Berkeley. You can buy them on Amazon. I first bought them at a fishing supply store, before they closed down, and then kept the package and then hunted it down on Amazon. And they come in, you can get them in black or like silver color. And they're a little bit shorter than the copper ones, that traditional coppers that you see, but they hold a lot better. I mean, they really hold.
Yeah, I guess I could pop it loose here and show you. But
What do you got there?
Just digging out a set of lines here to get at a crimp. Yeah, this is one of them. If I can find the camera there, from the flyover that I had snapped at the end of the lines.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them. It held, but it stretched a little wee bit.
Right.
And the other one stretched a little bit more, and the eyelet fell out.
Do you have the loop hanging out at the end, a little piece out of that? Okay, yeah, you got it. Yeah, I see it. It looks good.
Yeah. And what happened was this one slipped just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, enough to let the eyelet fall out.
Wow.
The other one barely moved. And there was one hell of a lot of line tension on that when it hit the end of the lines there.
Wow.
So I'm not too concerned about this for a crimping system. But for that, I've just been using the spike style electrical crimpers with copper sleeves. And it's quick and easy. But I don't know if that's the best way to go or not, but it seems to work.
Do you have those
easy.
pliers?
Pardon me?
the cheap electrical pliers with,
The ones with the spike type connection, not the squash. I'll see if I got them
Squash
handy.
got the profit and
I don't know if I have them handy. Just a second.
You guys, take care.
All right,
take
thank
a
you
look
very
at
much,
that.
Mark. We're going to be ending the show, the live stream very shortly. We're at straight up 9 o'clock out here.
Okay.
I know that means it's pretty late for most people.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in, Mark. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
No luck, huh?
No, I think it's a typical scenario. I put them somewhere where I'll know where to find them, and I can't find them.
Yeah, it's gonna be the last place you look.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hate when I find them and I keep looking, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. That I don't know. That's too funny. Anyways, hey, thank you guys for coming in. I think we've had a really good show. We actually had at the height of our show, we had like 36 viewers watching us. And of course, the show's going to be replayed and replayed. And so the viewership will be, you know, several hundred probably by next weekend or so. So thank you very much. And then we had 30 likes, which is good. And then we had, God, long time coming. We've had $29.21 in chat revenue. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Anyways, we're just going to end the live stream. We still will hang on and talk some more about what we like to talk about. But until then,